Hey, turns out there's massive bots out there targeting Russians. Not Russian bots, but they're pro-Ukraine. Well, let's get into the story. A team of researchers at the University of Adelaide, good day, have found that as many as 80% of tweets about the Russian-Ukraine invasion in its early weeks were part of a covert propaganda campaign originating from automated fake bot accounts.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, you're telling me that the establishment is doing the exact thing that they're accusing everybody else of doing? The military-industrial complex is actually the fake news? Really? That's such a shocker. An anti-Russian propaganda campaign originating from a bot army of phony automated Twitter accounts flooded the internet at the start of the war. The research shows that of the more than 5 million tweets studied, 90.2%, both bot and non-bot, came from accounts that were pro-Ukraine, with fewer than 7% of the accounts being classed as pro-Russian. The results were published in August in a research paper titled "I Stand with Putin versus I Stand with Ukraine: The Interaction of Bots and Humans in Discussions of the Russian-Ukraine War." That was by the University of Adelaide School of Mathematical Science. The size of the sample understudy of over 5 million tweets dwarfs other recent studies. I think you're supposed to say little people's other recent studies of covert propaganda in social media surrounding Ukraine war. The little reported Stanford University Graphika research on Western disinformation, analyzed by Declassified Australia in September, examined just under 300,000 tweets from 146 Twitter accounts. The Meta Facebook research on Russian disinformation, reported widely by the mainstream media, including by the Australian Broadcast Corporation a fortnight later, looked at only 1,600 Facebook accounts. The groundbreaking study exposing a massive anti-Russia social media disinformation campaign has been effectively ignored by Western establishment media.
Oh.
Showing how stories that don't fit the desired pro-Western narrative are routinely buried. The Adelaide University researchers unearthed a massive organized pro-Ukraine influence operation underway from the early stages of the conflict. Overall, the study found automated bot accounts to be the source of between 60 and 80% of all tweets in the data set.
What?
What?
That makes a lot, because I wondered why in the hell all these people who didn't even know it wasn't called the Ukraine suddenly care about it, and no one I know in real life, except the richest people who also bring up Syria that no lower class cares about, and it's about that percent, like 80%. I was like, I don't understand how this is real.
So again, this is all just more that 3.5 million tweets in the first were all from bots and pro-Ukraine. In fact, it was like someone had flicked a switch at the start of the war as pro-Ukraine bot activity suddenly burst into life. In that first day of the war, the "I Stand with Ukraine" hashtag was used in as many as 38,000 tweets each hour, rising to 50,000 tweets an hour by day 3 of the war.
Wow.
By comparison, the data shows that there's no way to overcome establishment propaganda. That's what this is telling you, especially since the algorithms on social media are there to prop up establishment propaganda while suppressing any independent thought.
Remember when Elon was like, there's all these bots on here?
Yeah,
that problem went away now.
Oh, apparently that isn't a problem. You're right.
Yeah.
During the first week of the invasion, pro-Russian bots were sending off tweets using the "I Stand with Putin" or "I Stand with Russia" hashtags at a rate of only several hundred per hour. 50,000 versus several hundred. Given the apparent long-range planning for the invasion of Ukraine, cyber experts expressed surprise that Russian cyber and internet responses were so laggard. A researcher at the Center for Security Studies in Switzerland said the pro-Russian cyber operations we have seen do not show long preparation. Instead, look rather haphazard.
Well, you think Ukraine's doing it on their own, or maybe they're getting a little help from somebody?
The landmark Adelaide University research differs from those earlier revelations in another most unique and spectacular way. While the Stanford Graphica and Meta research was produced by researchers who have long-term deep ties to the U.S. national security state, the Adelaide University researchers are remarkably independent. The academic team is from the university's School of Mathematical Science. So they're saying these aren't corrupted people, and they found that the exact opposite of what you've been led to believe. Russia isn't using the internet to flood it with propaganda. It's the West is. The pro-NATO, pro-Ukraine, pro-NATO, they're the ones doing it. That's what this is saying. The Adelaide University researchers tried their best to be non-committal in describing the activities of the fake Twitter accounts, although they had found that the vast majority, over 90%, were anti-Russian messages. So the exact opposite of what everybody's been told here in the United States, for anyway. They stated both sides in the Ukrainian conflict used the online information environment to influence geopolitical dynamics and sway public opinion. They found the two main participating sides in the propaganda war have their own particular goals and style. Russian social media pushes narratives around their motivation, and Ukrainian social media aims to foster and maintain external support from Western countries, as well as promote their military efforts while undermining the perception of the Russian military. The research shows that fake automated social media bot accounts do manipulate public opinion by shaping the discourse, sometimes in very specific ways. The results provide a chilling indication of the very real and malign effects that mass social media disinformation campaigns can have on an innocent civilian population. So this is the West, NATO, the United States doing this.
I already saw every stupid hashtag that came out before this that was dumb on the face of it. So I already knew that. In fact, now I'm like, who made all those awful? Take your pick of every hashtag that was popular up until then. Every one of them was moronic, and everybody was a zombie. Not everybody, but I don't even go through them. Do I? You know what they are.
Joshua Watt, one of the lead researchers on the University of Adelaide team that conducted the landmark study, summed it up, quote, "In the past, wars have been primarily fought physically, with armies, air force, and Navy operations being the primary forms of combat. However, social media has created a new environment where public opinion can be manipulated at a very large scale." And if you don't think the Pentagon, the CIA, and the United States and NATO are the biggest purveyors of disinformation on social media, you're a chump. It's always the government first, then it's the corporate media, the biggest purveyors of disinformation, and then it's everybody else.
I'm worried about the future of democracy.
So if you voted for democracy yesterday, you voted for that. The opposite of democracy. You voted for propaganda by the military-industrial complex coming through your completely corporate captured banana republic of a government. Hey, we're doing live stand-up comedy shows. We're going to be in Austin, Texas, November 19th and 20th, November 26th in Burbank, California. Plus, in December, every Friday, we're going to be in Studio City at Two Roads Theater. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all our tickets and become a premium member while you're there to get all our videos unedited.